bubble-wrapped, why a teenager from Mongolia and a former Olympic champion overshadowed the unveiling of Beijing's Olympic pool. Raging Bulls, it's all changed for rugby's Super 14 champions, but will they be able to retain their title? Going home, how international football could return to Iraq during 2008. And golf in the Gulf, why the European Tour thinks the Middle East is so vital to the game's future. Welcome to Sportsworld, Al Jazeera's regular look at sport around the globe. I'm Rahul Pathak. Now, the games of the 28th Olympiad have come a giant step closer, with one of the key venues opening for business. The National Aquatic Centre in Beijing has become known as the Watercube. Now, the construction is finished and the first swimmers have had a taste. Now, it was a memorable opening for several reasons. The massive interest and the radical design of the venue, a teenager from Mongolia, and a swimming legend who wasn't even there. Confused? Wayne Hain explains.
By night, it's a glowing, iconic beacon of the Beijing Olympics. By day, the little brother of the bird's nest resembles a space-age greenhouse. This is already the most talked about swimming pool in Olympic history, and that was reflected at the official opening. More than 300 reporters, cameramen and photographers turned up, sending their thoughts and images to all corners of the globe.
I haven't seen this many journalists awake this early in the morning in a long time.
And what are you telling the folks back home in the Netherlands and Holland about this place?
Well, it's hard to tell very much about it because it's basically a swimming pool.
Are you surprised to see so many journalists here, so many reporters?
Actually, it's not a surprise because for 2 or 3 years, that's a lot of foreign journalists come into China to report the Olympic Games. So that's, for me, it's a normal thing.
No one was safe from a prying camera or microphone. Not even the local volunteers were exempt, although they were clearly meant to be.
And do you speak English?
Yeah, just so my English speaking not so well.
Why were you selected for this job? Why did they ask you to do this job?
Sorry, but maybe there are some rules for us, so...
You cannot talk to the media?
No, because we still have some work to do there, so I'm just here to call him to go there.
From no comment to no show. On the same day the Watercube was unveiled, retired Australian great Ian Thorpe was speaking to wide-eyed school kids down the road.
You guys try that out, and just everyone try and make through here, and let the water take you along like that.
There were rumours Thorpe was going to be the first to jump into the Olympic pool, but it seems a sponsor's wrangle got in the way.
Yeah, look, there wasn't too much communication coming from there, and I can assure you, because I'm in Beijing, and it would have been a great opportunity. I would have loved to have done it. So.
It all seemed a lot of fuss for just a swimming pool, but this is no ordinary venue. This is what everyone came to see and touch. The building is basically made out of giant bubble wrap, thousands of pneumatic cushions which have air continuously pumped through them. It's being touted as an environmentally friendly stadium because it allows a lot of natural sunlight in, meaning less power is consumed during the day. But using such a radical design has also caused problems. In places, the Watercube is a little murky.
At this moment, you could see some dust from the construction period piled up a little bit.
The men in the suits say they have a plan to clean it. Solving another problem reportedly highlighted by television companies may not be so easy. It's understood broadcasters are concerned the venue lets in too much sunlight in the morning, when they'd prefer a consistent light, which makes it easier to calibrate cameras. The teething problems aside, this was a proud moment for those behind the project.
From 2003, I worked on this site, and at this moment the venue has been completed. It's really wonderful and happy job today.
Will you retire now? Are you all finished?
I think I will keep working on this venue and also other venues.
Now, of course, come the Olympic Games, all the attention will be on the swimmers themselves, and by then they certainly won't care about the fancy design of this place or indeed the pan flute music playing. What they will care about, though, is whether this pool will be fast or slow.
The first swimmer to get the chance to judge that was a 15-year-old from Mongolia. He was the only entrant in the opening heat of the meeting organised to test the venue.
I'm very happy. I'm so lucky to be the first swimmer in the Olympic pool.
Whether he's around when the real thing takes place is unlikely, but those who will be use the test event to get an edge on their opposition, to get used to conditions before the Olympics, and to find out how quick the pool is.
I think come August we could see some records broken?
I guess so. All depends on the swimmers, you know, but I think the pool is not against it.
It's a very comfortable pool and the water is clean. I felt very comfortable.
Some didn't share their enthusiasm.
When I swim, I feel when another people swim behind me, I feel the wave, yeah. I know it's good or not good, I'm not sure. But the rest is okay.
But that could slow you down, yeah?
Yeah, but I can credit it's too hot in the pool, I think. In the change room in the woman it's 30 degrees, it's too hot.
So while the swimmers debate the speed of the pool, the broadcasters wrangle over the natural light and the organisers try to find a way to beat the dust, the fact remains the National Aquatic Centre is a remarkable facility. When the Olympics roll around, this will be one of the places to see, even if you don't have a ticket to get inside. The exterior view is equally, if not more, spectacular. Wayne Hay, Al Jazeera, Beijing.
To rugby union now, where 2007 was definitely South Africa's year. Not only did their club sides provide both finalists in the Southern Hemisphere's Super 14 tournament, but their national team sealed an amazing year for the Rainbow Nation with victory in the World Cup. But with a new season of Super 14 about to kick off, 2008 could be very different. Last year's champions, the Bulls from Pretoria, have had to make wholesale changes to their title-winning lineup, and their opponents from Australia and New Zealand are determined to make sure they don't retain their title. Dan Williams reports.
Much has changed for the Bulls since becoming the first side from South Africa to win the tournament in May last year. The final against fellow South African side the Sharks was a thriller. The Sharks were leading and the hooter had gone. A touch-finding kick was all that was needed to give the Sharks glory. But failure to do so allowed the Bulls to counter and score through Bryan Habana.
Habana scored!
The Bulls still needed the conversion to win, but when that went over, it was the Bulls who had somehow snatched victory.
We actually thought it was all over and our dream was shattered. Our 6-7 year dream of us winning a Super 14 was over, and to the end, long pass to Bryan, cutting inside, and it went over, and it's just unbelievable, that feeling of everything is over, and suddenly in 2 minutes time Derek had a chance of kicking it over and winning it. So yeah, it was just an unbelievable feeling, and we were so emotionally drowned afterwards, just that two extreme emotions.
But instead of building on those foundations, the Bulls have been forced to embark on a new era. The coach has gone, many experienced players too, including the captain, the hugely influential Victor Matfield no less. So can the team cope with the changes?
There's a new challenge now, and it's a new season, and we're getting new juniors to come through, you know, so it's up to them to actually put their hands up and, you know, being counted for.
There are many pluses for the team. After all, any side with Bryan Habana in their lineup cannot be taken lightly. They have a number of internationals left in the armoury too, and they have arguably the world's best scrum half in new captain FOURIE.
Well, if you lose the world's best lock and a hooker that's played for the last 4 years every game, and a fullback that's played for the last 7 years every game, obviously it's going to weaken your team. But the guys coming in, they just have to step up now. Guys that stayed over, senior guys, must just make themselves be accountable for everything.
The man who has been handed the responsibility of guarding the Bulls in their title defence is FRANS LUDEKE, a good friend of the former coach Heineke Meyer. He has experience, but does not have a glittering track record.
I know I'm up to the job, and I'll tell you why. There's great systems in place, got some solid people around me, and I think that's a recipe for any success.
The question now for the Bulls, can lightning strike twice?
it's a new season, it's a tough one, but obviously we'll like to give ourselves a chance of winning it again.
We're working hard like all the other sides, and if we use our opportunities, that's going to be there in the game. We got enough good players to definitely stick our hands up and be accountable.
And this is what it's all about, the Super 14 trophy. The Bulls will shortly have to hand this back to the organisers, which will signal the start of a new campaign. Can they win it again? What about the Sharks, the side that had one hand on this before they threw it away? The Sharks should really have been the ones celebrating back in May, but after such a heart-wrenching defeat, what kind of mental state are they in to go the distance this time round?
I don't know about mental scars, probably a lot of determination. Our players are really have worked incredibly hard, our management have worked hard, and we're probably more determined than we would have been had we won.
Very, very tough, and and it still hurts when you talk about it. But I think, for me personally, I think for us as a team, it's just making us more angry. We really want to do well, and we really want to win this cup. And by losing it in the way that we did, we actually there's a hunger in the side that's grown from last year.
Added to the mental scars, the Sharks have also lost an engine room of experience. Last year they had South Africa captain John Smith, Butch James, Bob Skinstad and Percy Montgomery. It would be a blow to lose one of those players. The Sharks have lost them all.
It's really tough losing players like that, but if you ever look at guys like Bismarck du Plessis, Ruan Pienaar, Frans Steyn, JP Peterson, all of a sudden, those guys have won a World Cup for their country, they've played in a Super 14 final, and they're still youngsters, but they're experienced players, and it's great for me as a captain to see how guys like that just stands up and be counted and take responsibility for their plays and for people around them on the field.
But there is one player incoming who could propel the Sharks to success. And if any one player can fill a void, it is French fly-half Frédéric Michalak. He has a celebrity image and is probably the Super 14's most high-profile signing.
Yeah, he brings a lot of experience, which he needed. We lost through Butch in the 10 position. So he brings that, but he is a player that I've watched over many years, and he's got something really special about him. He's got good feet, he's got good hands, he's different, and that's what appeals to us.
Also among the Sharks' armoury is Francois Steyn, who helped kick South Africa to glory in the World Cup. Still only 20, he is highly regarded as the country's most talented player.
He's strong, he's big, he weighs like 104 kgs. I mean, he's unbelievable, and he's got a mind of a 28-year-old. And that's what's exciting for me. When young players like that, he's a senior player in the side already, and he's 20 years old.
So with some French flair and Durban's finest, the Sharks go into the season confident they can shake off the disappointment of last year and go one better this time round.
We've got to make sure that the ball bounces our way this year, whereas possibly in the final it didn't. So we've worked hard. We're looking forward to the season, and you can expect some good things from the Sharks.
2007 without doubt belonged to South Africa, but with both New Zealand and Australia looking to get their revenge, this year's competition promises plenty more drama to rival last year's final. Dan Williams, Al Jazeera, Pretoria.
Well, don't forget to have a look at our website, aljazeera.net/English, where you can get all the latest sports news and find out more about the show. But stay with Sportsworld, because coming up, we look at the rise of golf in the Gulf.